towards the door, then everything will be monitored by the camera, and then the camera together with the door sensor will send a short message or a call to my phone. Then I can have real-time monitoring and the security will be ensured. Then is home automation. Home automation is almost very important for us because when we want to get back to our house, but we want to have a real-time hot water shower, then what should we do? We just before we go home, 10 minutes before, we automatically switch on the heater. Then after we go home, we can enjoy the hot waters. So that is one aspect of automation. And besides, we can use some kind of smart switch to control all the devices, our air conditioner, our refrigerators, everything. And that is what we have helped Telefonica to launch the smart home solutions. And for Telefonica, their strategy is previously is fixed mobile and data, but last year they bring the IPTV and digital home into their strategy. And for the digital home, we together with them to host the smart home center in Mexico, then hosting the service to Colombia, Peru, and other 2 countries, and even they want to extend the service to Germany. So in the second session for the service part is our connected cars. So here is a general overview of the connected cars. First, we have to segment the market. So for one aspect is the 2B market. For example, how to manage our fleet and how to make the best utilization of our car, our drivers. That is one aspect. And secondly is B2B2C. For example, how can we use our personalized driving behavior, our usage-based insurance to change the way we do insurance together with the insurance companies. And thirdly is how can we provide service to change the driving life. So that is to see. So firstly is market segment. Then let's take a look at our solutions. Almost for all the second market is about the data we can collect and the transmission tools we use, and the IoT platforms which can enable to provide connectivity and do some data analysis, then provide the service to the up layers to different market segments. So firstly is the fleet management. So that is a market B2B. So with the fleet management, what can we do? We can monitor and manage the driver, their behaviors. For example, if we don't have a kind of fleet management system, the driver, if the driver is not so good, he will park his car into some place and steal the oils. That happens many times, and it can cause lots of damage to the company. And so with the fleet management, because we can track in the real-time location, so that kind of things will not happen. So the other is vehicle camera and management. How many vehicles I have, how many vehicles are in use, and how many vehicles are available. And the other is safety. So because we can monitor the driver's behavior, the acceleration modes, the turns, and the hash brake, every behavior of we driving a car, so we can identify whether there is a security terms will happen. Before that will happen, we can tell the drivers to be careful. So that is providing the safety. And then with all the drivers information, vehicles with information, we can have a smart dispatch management. So that is what we can do for the fleet management. Then the second market segment is the B2B2C. For one scenario, that is usage-based insurance. So today, when we buy insurance, that is to find an insurance company and have different menus. We just choose one based on our own experience. So that is the way we do insurance. But in the near future, we can just give the data of our driving history to the insurance companies, and even the insurance companies can get some data from the bank, from the government. Then they can give us a price. Then they can give us a package, what kind of the service I can have in my insurance. So why? Because everything is about data. If they can use all of data or driving history or profiles, then with the big data system, they can decide, oh, you are a terrible driver. If you want to enjoy my insurance, I must charge you not. But if you are a very good driver like me, maybe very, very little.
Sorry, do you have an existing solution for you to plug into our platform?
You mean plug into your machine-to-machine platform?
Yes. A UBI solution that is already existing somewhere in the world. Do you have that?
Yeah, in China we have the cooperation with the insurance companies.
Okay.
China Life.
Okay, so we'll chat about that.
Yeah. And for the 2C market, to the consumer market, we have we provide two kind of things. The first one is a box. We call it OBD. Within the box, we can collect all the many kinds of information from the car, the driving behavior and the consumption of the oil, the condition of my cars. So with the data, we can provide apps. The apps will tell you, oh, your driving behavior and your driving scores and even your car status. So that can somehow change our way of driving and somehow get a better control of our cars. So that is 2C market. So here is one example of our OEM market with the first automobile works in China. That is the biggest car manufacturer in China. So that is for the OEM market before the car gets out of the market. And even on the Mobile World Congress, we co-demonstrated our solutions. So here are some pictures of the views in there. So the right picture is outside of the exhibition hall of the Barcelona. So the tag in blue is our cars for our guests is running on the system and is running outside of the streets. So we have real-time monitoring and management for the fleet management. The second is what we do with China Unicom to provide solution for the Million Group. That is the biggest vending machine vendors in China. And for them, we can manage all the cars and we can greatly improve the driving behaviors and we can get them more efficient of utilization of their car, their drivers, and cut their costs. So the last use case is the fleet management case of Huawei ourselves. We have about 10,000 more cars all over the world, and we use the same platform to manage the drivers, manage the cars. And we use it every day. So that is the end of my session. And my colleague will give a session of NB-IoT from the radio part, why we need NB-IoT, and what we can do with NB-IoT.
Okay, so can you take some questions before you?
Yeah.
Any questions, guys?
Security.
Mm-hmm.
What mechanisms do you have in place?
Okay.
Not specifically on security solution as such, but more around securing the information.
Securing the information.
The information that's sent. So obviously you are bringing these connected devices
Yeah.
into your household and cameras and these things. What security is there for the consumer that his information is not compromised?
So actually, for the securities, because traditionally everything is controlled by the operators, from the radio to all the core networks. So
From the platform.
yeah.
The
So today, because almost everything is exposed to the internet. So what's the security terms we mechanism we have? So from the first thing is the IoT agent, as we can say, and for the wireless and for the fixed gateways, we have the IoT agent inside. The IoT agent will do the first authentication, whether these smart devices have the right access to my gateway. Can I connect it to it? That is the first mechanism is the authentication on the IoT agent gateway side. The other is our platform for the for the authentication also. So that is for the authentication. Besides, we have the encryptions, this kind of mechanisms to provide our data and the transmission safe. If the hackers hacked our data, they have to decrypt. And that's two aspects of our do security. Besides, for the data, we have to isolate our data in the platform so we can enable the right people have the right access to the right data. And all the data will be provided integrated.
Another thing is, usually these platforms, the GSM vendors platforms are sitting within the network of the operator. So our MTN platform sits on our network. It sits in Centurion currently. And usually the solutions, like you see little circles on the top, the different vertical solutions, those are actually deployed on the platform. It can sit somewhere else if you want. But most of the times, the idea is that they deploy it on the actual application. The application itself lives within your network, and then obviously the channel down to the actual device is also secured. The normal way our data is secure. And I think there's an added layer of security with an agent between the platform and the device.
I guess it's just infrastructure because, as you say, different verticals between top level aggregated data maybe used to actually go across horizontally across verticals, and we're talking about vertical. So just the thinking behind that, and obviously I think that's a big concern with IoT, is that security. That's why.
Yes, even for the APIs, we have the encryptions. We have the public keys and private keys.
On the API, you mentioned open API. Which are you compliant with 1M2M or the standards, or your own API?
So for the open API is currently not standard. Yeah, there is no standard for the APIs.
There's 1M2M. I don't know if you're familiar with 1M2M.
Yeah, one version to machine.
Yeah, that is supposed to be some standard. Are you guys compliant with it, or do you have your own set of APIs?
Some of the APIs are compliant with the one M2M, and some of them are not, because you see there are so many verticals. Different verticals have different data requirements.
So 1MTM is an attempt to standardize on the APIs. It covers the bottom layer up onto the middleware. So the actual client device talking up into the middleware, and then your middleware up into the application on the top. And then on one of your slides, you had you mentioned IFTTT. Like you.
If this, then that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what was that about? That particular application?
So that is about automation. So if we open the door, then the light will be automatically switched on. So that is if that, then if this, then that.
So are you actually hooked up to IFTTT.com, or you have your own equivalent? Your own one?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if you guys are familiar with IFTTT, but they seem to have their own version of it. Any other questions?
Location-based APIs. How do you deal with that?
So that is almost the same with other APIs. The first is it is getting the data from the devices, then provides with some kind of latitude and latitude, and with a the API format will start with a HTTP and IP address. Then
But what happens if the devices can't supply you with a location? What network side APIs do you tap into to identify the location of the device?
so what? So you mean if the device can provide the real-time location, what can we do to the?
Let's say there's no GPS module in the devices. Okay, how do I locate it? What support do you have for that?
Then we can't.
That's a strange one, because I noticed that with our platform as well, to be honest. It's almost you can't understand why it didn't why it wasn't thought of, but we have network-based location. The platform will obviously have access to the network. Therefore, you'd be able to use the normal network-based location that we use for the consumer side.
I mean, I would have expected you guys to have tapped into the network, the mobile network. I would also have expected you to be looking at things like Bluetooth beacons, Wi-Fi-based stuff as well for indoor location and all of that. Have you got nothing like that in your roadmap at the moment?
Currently is the global information. Later.
What I have seen is that middleware layer is quite flexible. You can put together your own solution as a network operator. You can hook it up to your existing location APIs and stuff, and come up with your own version of it. But it's strange it doesn't come out of the box. Okay, anything else, guys? Cool, let's move on to the next one.
Yeah, thank you.
After the narrowband IoT stuff, there's some demo equipment on there. We can just have a look.
I'm Shaw, and I have the pleasure to introduce the narrowband NB-IoT. So NB stands for the narrowband, and let's take a look to see what it can bring to us. My colleague has just shared with us that the IoT is the global trend in the next 5 years, and we all know the cellular network, cellular IoT, which based on the carriers network, will grow rapidly in the next 5 years too. And according to GSMA's estimation, the cellular IoT connection will grow to 3 billion by 2020. It's a huge number, right? And it covers the personal, home, public, and industry, these areas, right? And we can, it's a big opportunity for us, including the value of connection, value of data, and value of profit sharing. So, one second. This电脑怎么翻页
IT support.
Sorry, what's happening?
Stuck.
Stop. Sorry.
That 3 billion number is just.
Yeah, it's working.
Sorry for the accident. And my colleague has just shared some applications, some services right for the IoT. And we can clarify the three levels. The first level, it needs high speed, and it can bear on the 3G or 4G network. And second, it needs the middle speed. And the last one, it do not care about the speed, but it needs deep coverage, the wide coverage, and low power consumption. And it's very sensitive for the chipset cost. So that's why we call it LPWA, low power consumption and wide area, LPWA. That is suitable for the NB-IoT. In this area, we can see the services are including the pet tracking and smart parking and other blah, blah, blah. And the technology has the Bluetooth. But why we mention NB-IoT? Because it is very suitable for carrier. And we know the other technology, then maybe we can buy other IT companies, but only NB-IoT is suitable for carrier. So we will see what's the difference and why should we use NB-IoT. There's some challenges. The first, I don't want to repeat this number. We only need to know, according to estimation, there will be huge connections in Europe by 2020. So the traditional network, like the 2G or 3G, they are not designed to support so many connections. But I think what NB-IoT's target is to support 100,000 connections per cell. 100,000 connections per cell. It's very important. And the second is battery, and the second is coverage. We all know for the metering applications or other, like the metering applications, for the smart parking or the smart metering, the sensors sometimes are buried in the ground or in the kitchen. So signal is not so good, right? So we need the better coverage. So for the traditional network, we need to improve the power for the RE. Here's a case for the Beijing smart metering, and the network is based on 2G GPRS. There's a, we can see the number. There's 20% failure, and in these failures, the 70% caused by the coverage issue. So if we can improve the coverage, we can lower down the human cost for the customer visit. And compared with the GSM, NB-IoT has a 20 dB gain coverage than GSM. The third one. And the second one is the battery life. We all know for the smart parking and other applications, sometimes the sensor are buried in the ground. We do not want to dig it up every 2 years, right? So the battery life is very important. For the traditional use, if we report the signal to the center once per month, the power battery will supply 2 years. But if you use the NB-IoT, it has a power saving mode. It can lower down the power consumption and enlarge the power supply to 10 years. 10 years. And last one, we all know the smart metering and other applications are very sensitive to the price. We can see this chart. Single Fox, GPRS, lower, and NB-IoT just $5, the cheapest. So this is very important for the whole industry. These are the 4 highlights for the NB-IoT. Okay, next. And all of that. Our carrier have covered the 90% of population and 70% of the geography. And it's big. It's most important advantage for carriers, right? And according to GSM's estimation, our target is the 3 billion connection IoT connections, cellular IoT connections by 2020. So how to reach the target and what services we can provide. Next, we can see some interesting services. Let's take a look. I'll share with you 3 cases. The first is smart metering. You can see by using the smart metering, we can report the signal directly to the station and to the control center and and we do not need someone to go home and read the numbers. And we can charge by the connection. We all know there's a lot of smart gas, smart metering, smart gas metering, and smart water metering in Europe by 2020. So we can get from the connection. This is the first one. And the second, volume of data running on the IoT. They are very important, and it's big data, right? I do believe we can find something, and we can provide the API to third party. And the second one, we can cooperate with the third party and find some interesting service, like the water saving or other things. This is the first one. First one, smart meter, and the second one, smart parking. And I do not want to mention this too much. But we all know in the big cities like the London or Beijing, according to the statistics, 30% of the traffic problem was caused by the parking issue. So we'll take a short video to see what the smart parking is and what it can bring to us. Here's a short video. Sorry, it's too loud.
I'm not getting tired. I'll adjust it inside there.
It's fine. Hello? Hello? He's going to adjust it.
Actually, down. This is for China Mobile and Huawei and the
It's fine, you can turn it up. Turn it up. Okay.
Actually, it's not music. There's no music. We can see when the car parked in the area, it says actually the park that we get in the car. And that makes the condition to go to the signal. Then we can find the parking position and the book position and pay easily. That's the smart parking. And for the technical system, we can see every car, how long they stay and how much is to pay. And that's the very fast. And this is the camera we can see. And we know that the smart parking is just one case for the IoT. And we also have other applications like the smart busing and smart water using and smart agriculture. There's a lot of applications. And just as the slogan said, better connected, better centralized. As we depend the last one, last case is pet tracking. It's very popular in Latin America. They love dogs, but sometimes they lost their dogs. So how to find their pet quickly and easily? It's a big opportunity for carrier because only carrier has a network which covers the whole nation. Right? We can find our pet easily. That's 3 cases, and now we are doing a trial with MTN on the IoT and IoT. And I have the pleasure to invite Laura to share some amazing ideas with us. Melo, sorry. Melo.
Or I'm allowed same thing. Same thing.
I don't know what to say because we really haven't started much. Morning, everyone. Yeah, so we've been basically setting up an IoT ecosystem around our machine-to-machine platform. The idea being is that we're access technology agnostic. So there's a lot of benefits to IoT, especially where we've already got a footprint, but where we don't have, we're looking at other technologies, your L'Oreal, your Sigfox. We're literally just trying to build our platforms to be the nucleus of the ecosystem, if you will. So we're about to kick off a user monitoring trial. So through Yusuf's team, we support the Stellenbosch University, who the master students constantly develop innovative products for us. One of which is a user monitoring solution. So they've been now starting to deploy it in 500 homes because we want to learn all the heuristics around the Giza and then predict when Giza is going to blow, because this is quite vital for the insurance industry. So we want to test in the IoT in conjunction with this, because should this solution be successful, we want to deploy the module solution countrywide. And the different permutations on where a Giza could be, we can see the benefit of having an NB-IoT backbone instead of so, yeah, we're also doing a smart refrigeration with Huawei, where we basically are doing similar kind of thing. We're just monitoring the fridge and seeing the health parameters around it, and then being able to predict when anything will go wrong. This has shown a lot of interest from our biggest customers, SAP, Tuchel, Sun, catering company, Heineken. All the big brands are very interested in the solution. So, yeah, that covers where we are, unless you guys have questions.
What are you monitoring exactly? Is there any awareness thing about that?
So we have our Stellenbosch guys on the stream also on the other end watching this, the guys that are actually doing the research on this. Prof. Tinus and his 6 students at our lab. What they're monitoring is the water rate in and out. So they've got a flow meter in the geyser. They're measuring the temperature of the water going in, they're measuring the temperature of the water going out, they're measuring the ambient air temperature around the geyser, and then they've got a drip tray sensor for any leakages that might have already occurred. And using all the data from those different sensors and looking at predictive models, they've come up with a way of measuring the energy consumption of the geyser first of all. So they've got a little mobile app where you can see your energy consumption throughout the day, and you can control the geyser as well. So you can turn it on and off yourself if you want from the app. They want to also measure human behavior changes as a result. So now that I've got this ability to switch on and off my geyser and see my energy consumption, will it change my behavior? So that's one of the research topics that they're busy looking at. And then predictive things like, is this geyser going to blow? By looking at all the different sensors and modeling it against when a geyser does blow, are you able to actually determine that the geyser's on its way out?
So you'll see with a lot of the global partners, they've got a lot of solutions that they've developed specific for their market conditions. Some you can copy and paste, but some we have to actually just generate on our own. That's why we've also looked at an SDK so that we can start tapping into the developer ecosystem here in South Africa and have guys developing solutions for us, which we will further evolve this year. Will be the second year of Mind to Machine. We had about 55 companies respond last year developing solutions for us. Android was the final year. They developed a diesel generator monitoring solution for us, which we are looking to stick into our towers as well. We've got diesel generators in there. Yeah, so this year we will be opening it up again. We've already got about 110 want to respond this year and plugging into the Microsoft developer ecosystem as well. Any other questions? Thank you.
You mentioned the guys doing the global other players.
So the SDK is built specific to our platform, but we're looking at other technologies that will make us more aligned.
We start
In the SDK.
Yeah, you say you're looking at other technologies to.
So like uBlocks, I think you mentioned uBlocks.
uBlocks has got an SDK, Ericsson's got an SDK, Huawei's got an SDK. So it's about aligning all these different standards and having a common developmental platform where the guys can use maybe like UIs that drag and drop kind of thing to build their solutions. Because we found that last year, a lot of the guys spent about 6 months just developing the modules that speak to the actual hardware, where a lot of that's already been developed for them. Huawei's got like the OS, so you should just be able to call that as a service instead of developing the code to speak to that device.
And then Ryan had an interesting question earlier about why these platforms don't make use of some of the network abilities like location. You're doing something interesting now with SIM cards, right? And getting network parameters from the SIM card.
Yeah. So what's actually interesting, when I saw the presentation from Huawei, when they said they found that 70% of the cases for smart meters were network-related issues. So TUMS, Tshwane Utilities Management Company, deployed 5,000 Vodacom SIM cards into their smart meters, and 72%, so on 3,700 of them, they had repeat call-outs. 72% of the time it was a network-related issue. At 650 a call-out, it was a wasted call-out. So the guys are looking to deploy something like 1.2 million smart meters in just Tshwane alone. So there's a big need for them to have visibility of the network coverage and the signal strength to a specific device. So we are looking at an agent now that you can push down onto your SIM card. And then it uses the SMS channel to communicate the signal strength, signal quality, how long it's been on the 2G network, 3G network, LTE, etc. Currently POC and technology, if it works out, then we'll have that as a base value-added service in our system.
Another interesting thing that you can do from a SIM card perspective is when you do normal network location, you get your cell ID information, and if you've got the cell ID coordinates, you more or less know where the guy is, right? But it's usually like 50 meters, depending on the cell size, it's anything from 50 meters to 50 kilometers accurate, right? But your SIM card also knows your timing advance information and all that kind of stuff. So if you can feed that information up from its SIM app back to your platform and combine that with your cell ID information, you can actually get really decent location. Sean, where are you? Are you done? I got a question for you though. On one of your slides, you had the battery life MB IoT devices at 10 years, I think. Question I have is, was that also 1 month, once a month update, or how often would that device be communicating up?
You mean change lives? How to calculate the changes life,
Yes.
right? Oh,
Yes.
there's a calculation.
How often is it communicating back to the server or backend? Yeah, that's fine. Oh, you got the calculation there.
So current is Chinese, but if you need the detailed information,
The numbers look like normal numbers. That's fine.
This is for GPRS, not for the MBIoT. But for the MBIoT, I'll send it to you. The detail.
All I want to know is it for your GPRS? You said it was sending the data up once a month.
It's just
So is it the same assumption for the NB-IoT or constantly communicating?
I'm not sure, but I will
Oh, you
confirm
check
to
it. Okay, that's fine. And then
some of these devices, especially like Huawei IoT and Cisco uses what they call fault technology. It's basically processing that happens on the device and then it learns to only communicate the exception.
when it needs to,
Exactly.
the deltas.
Exactly. So it doesn't, so it monitors that this stays consistent, only an exception happens. Then switch up to a full power mode and then send information to that.
Okay.
And if you have interest, I will send you the detail for the power saving mode.
Okay. And then what radio frequency does NB-IoT use?
Frequency.
Yeah.
Well, the frequency is determined by the terminal and the core network.
Now, in the industry, because it's just for wide coverage, so we use a low band frequency. In MTN, we choose 900 mega.
900.
Yeah. But
So it's
we also-
license frequency.
Yeah, license frequency. For all of our IoT, we are using license.
So would we have to carve up?
So what's the channel bandwidth? Because there's different types of deployments of IoT. You can do it in band and the LTE carrier itself. Currently, our LTE deployment is on 1800 band. Then you can deploy it as a standalone on 900 band. The question is more what. So usually that's like 200 kilohertz.
Yes, 200.
And you need to have like a broadband.
Actually,
If it's standalone, let's say you deploy it in your GSM spectrum, you need to have a
Interference means.
broadband towards the GSM channel.
If you just make a long, then each side you should have 100K megahertz. Yeah, it's okay.
Is it centered? How's the channel center frequency? Is it aligned with the GSM ARXN, or is it
You can
Sounds
use
like it's in the, it's not saying
yeah, like this way, this slide.
how does it align around the GSM ARX scheme?
In this place, there is no GSM signal. This is a standalone. GSM, IoT.
But do we just, we can put it anywhere. Can we just put it on any GSM IoT?
Yeah, I know.
Only using one IoT.
Is it
Yeah.
aligned with the GSM center frequency ARX? So in other words, do I need to use up to GSM ARX ends to deploy one in the IoT?
Two,
Talking
yeah.
about 800.
Yeah, 100K, that's why. Two frequency port from GSM if you just use this alone. Yes, 200 for NB-IoT and 100K each side.
We need to use 400 kilohertz.
Yeah.
To use 900 band to
Yes.
deploy 180 kilohertz.
Yes. Yeah. But if you just suppose you just beside another UMTS carriers, then for this 100K frequency you are not allowed. Only 100. Okay. It's in cloud.
Another question is, you're talking about 100,000 connected devices per cell. So how will that scale in terms of how many actual IoT carriers you need to deploy in that cell?
Oh, you want to know how to calculate the number, right?
Yes, and also do you utilize some other type of mechanism like timing? So not all of those 100,000 connected devices will talk simultaneously. Talking about the low power wide area. So will there be a type of scheduling of all of those devices on the cell solution?
First question. There's no information in this slide, but I will find the matching documents and send it to you. Is that possible?
You can send to me, I'll share it with
It's like that way, just calculated by the capacity of the frequency. Then you can timely setting maybe this amount of terminals, setting the data at this time. Another batch use another time like this one.
So is that determined? Because essentially, looking at the POC,
Yeah.
the devices.
Yeah.
So do the devices determine when they set, or do the actual platform need to tell the device send you information? And it's also important to understand the band. What a device's band is called.
We have a formula to calculate, like for the every terminals, how much bit data this terminal will send every hours or every per days. Then we will calculate the amount numbers through this frequency. We have a formula. Yeah, we will send, and then let's calculate the numbers.
Devices with one channel.
So, do you guys know if it's based on like CDMA or OFDMA or what type of?
It seems to be OFDMA. You look at 80 kilohertz,
Yeah.
which is comprised of 50 kilohertz carriers. So it seems to be OFDMA.
Yes, it's just based on LT or FDMA.
IoT or FDMA?
Yeah, that's why.
So that's so that's how you be able to
Use-
deploy in-band.
Yeah, in-band LT, we also can use
Oh yes,
one
if it wasn't it.
You basically look at one resource block.
Okay, yeah, if it wasn't, you wouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah, that we can apply the same formulation.
I have a question. What happened to LTE? LTE.
GM.
Because everybody was punting that that might be the solution for machine to machine, but now all of a sudden MPIOT they're saying that discontinuing the roadmap around LTE.
The LTMA is a previous name. Before 2015, we call it LTM. But after it's just the 3GPP wants to frozen its protocol. Now we call it NB-IoT. It
Branding.
doesn't change the name.
Branding.
Is it LTE just a higher bandwidth? So if you talk about in the IoT, you're talking about LPWA, low power wide area, 180 kilohertz. So LTE is a higher bandwidth.
It's not. It's,
LTE deployed, it's then deployed in your LTE carrier, which has a higher bandwidth, like more for video streaming, some applications for your higher bandwidth. We need higher bandwidth for specific machine-to-machine application. That's a question.
Actually, like what he's showing on the slide is three different levels for LT connector. But previously, what they talking about LTM is our narrowband. It's not have so much throughput on this protocols.
Is there anything being developed for high throughput?
In LTE, no. Because
For the middle speed, we have a narrow and IoT term for the middle speed. There's MTC, machine type communication. Because the big device and actually we do not measure MT right now.
that's really misunderstanding on name, but LTM is just NB-LT. It's not based on IoT throughput for international things.
LTMTC.
So for the box, for the user solution, you guys using the 900
Yeah.
that was.
Yes. 900 band. Actually, I have got one chipset and a module from the U-Blocks that we have delivered to. It's very small, like this. It's just this side. Then we can integrate with the machine, and then we use the wireless side.
Is it surface mount?
It's very small, just like our son.
It's module and
No, that's just the modem.
model and chipset. You integrate it with the machine you want. It's just a big like this. Then it will transfer data use a cellular.
Makes sense.
So what's going to have to change on your base station controls or whatever it is in Mpumalanga to support the POC?
Actually, for our wireless network, we need to upgrade like the software, and we like what we mentioned, we use some licensed frequency for MBLT. That will be fine. And then you also need some like IoT platform to integrate in your network. Because the wireless side is a data channel, you can understand like this.
So is it core stuff that needs to be included?
Yeah.
Some
Also,
software upgrades.
Yeah, in core side.
No any same antennas, everything else.
The same antenna and hardware.
Your is talking.
Yeah, baseband we need another channel card, but for the antennas and the radio part, we use the same one.
So it's essentially you access
Another
technology that
existing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you need a baseband unit that was signaling that it's different. And from the LTE baseband to the core, it's an S1 light interface.
S1 light.
Which needs to be which is a software upgrade on the actual PTS and
S1 light.
We can't use the existing will be call for IoT. And the new call.
from here to this the RFC of
Because I think we must check with the existing score. I don't think the current WhatsApp interface to
This S1 light or
the S1 Lite, Ericsson hasn't had it about. So we need to touch base with Michelle and those guys.
okay.
so
For your
In this
IoT,
case-
POC, aren't you using a Cisco call or something?
that's the same. So in this case, we're using the example that which like our current platform, that's because these already speaks to that platform. So it depends
Yes.
how that solution speaks to the platform. We need to figure out how it's going to use the IoT to do that. So we need to understand all of that. that's all currently.
Cool, guys. Any more questions on MBIoT? Sweet. So we've got some demo stuff on the table at the back there, and we've got some refreshments. So please help yourselves to refreshments and the toys. I'm gonna walk the remote viewers first to the food. Then to the first victim.
Is it like eating it?
That's Colin's personal trainer, fitness guide, fitness guru.
Look at how he's failing.
Stop it.
No SIM cards, just one unified home gateway.
Are they using Zigbee to?
Using TGIF. This is a multi-sensor. Multi-sensor means we have motion detector inside, we have moisture temperature and vibration 61 sensor. And this is a very cheap camera.
Motion sensors.
No motion sensor in here. Yeah, we have the other type of camera have embedded the motion sensor, but it's not this one. So that means we can connect with what kinds of cameras.
Yeah, it really depends on the camera.
Yeah, so the one that they showed was
Currently it's controlled by
Let it for wait for some second to the silent mode.
Yeah, you block these.
This side to this side to cloud, and then you can open.
It's all with blocks.
I think now is controlled by the motion sensor. So you can show the apps. How can we control it?
Okay, this is apps for the smart home solution. We have some favorite device. This is one of the light. Yeah, you can control it on off. And also you can select the camera sensor, and you can you can watch the history video, because before I create a trigger every 10 minutes. I record some short video. So this video, we can.
Let's replay it.
So we can just
use the cloud storage to store the
with the cloud storage.
Is the cloud local to your to this, or is it external?
no, we have
On the lab.
on the Glamander, the storage.
Okay, yeah. So this is the history video. Yeah. And also we can click to check the real-time video. Yeah, so we can check what happened, and how it's a home, how it's family, how it's garden,
everything.
Also we can talk with Wi-Fi or LTE.
Actually, now
I wanted to know
Nothing to do with the network here.
This is the MTN SIM card inside the
So you're on Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is the home gateway. So the gateway connect the internet from the MTN.
That's fine. I just saw that the video is quite, the quality is quite good, so I wanted to find out if it's Wi-Fi or if it was.
This is the
on
Wi-Fi.
LTE. Okay.
yeah, it's the 720 very clean.
Even we can talk to the cameras.
Yeah. If you want to talk to your family.
You can just away from the camera and then talk. Hello.
Can you hear me? So like this. Yeah.
Welcome to enjoy this.
What are you doing? Yeah, exactly. That is the scenario. I have a gun. You're surrounded.
Yeah,
surrender.
all the sensors we communicate with the home gateway. The home gateway can support the wave, the B, and also the Wi-Fi.
Yes.
But as the sensors, they support the D-Wave, camera, support the Wi-Fi protocol.
And the application comes with that as well.
Though the app can connect with internet platform directly.
Now, if I purchase this from a shop, I can buy this. And then I want to be able to configure, like how you're doing it now, how would I do it?
Yeah, you can demonstrate the configuration how to create a sensor.
Okay, so this is the sensor list. So we have the smart sensor. Can support the temperature, humidity, and the motion detection. Yeah. And then this is bulb. This is the light. You can on, off, and you can even you can change the color at your wish and the light.
So the chain that I've seen inside the home is you have like one centralized router.
This is the normal light and the
It's a smart bulb.
yeah, this is the light is smart. This is not.
It allows you to change depending on your specific application.
Okay, open, and you can
There's a lot of
change the color as you wish, and you can change the light as you wish.
Business models similar to
Light please.
So this bell communicates over Wi-Fi.
Not communicate with Wi-Fi, communicate with the unified home gateway.
Yes. This is just
Yeah, but I mean, it's only got a power connection, so it needs to communicate somehow.
Actually, the pump can communicate directly with the home gateway.
What's this protocol?
TGIF.
This is a smart light, not the traditional
Okay,
light.
Z-Wave. Okay, so this is Z-Wave, this is Z-Wave.
Yeah.
And then it goes to
Actually, the camera with the gateway is Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
And this is Z-Wave.
Yeah, and the sensors are also TGIF.
Also, this plug is Z-Wave.
TGIF.
This smart
Z-Wave.
plug. Yeah.
What is this?
This is
the-
motion sensor.
Motion sensor, yeah.
And this one is there?
Door sensor.
Door window sensor, you can put
Oh,
door,
okay.
and when the door is open, yeah.
010101.
Yeah, I can show you. Okay, that's the open and off.
And
Okay,
this one, it's a wind.
You can show this function.
okay.
So actually, for the smart home, we can support the self-definition. We also set the service orchestration. So you define the action by yourself. Such as maybe you do some action, it will trigger another action. Yeah, you can show
Okay.
it. Yeah.
So now I'm already create some trigger. So this is open the socket with timer. So I can select and modify it. So this is the when. So the time I selected is now. Okay, now, and the action is open the socket. So when at this time the socket will automatically turn on. Okay, so save, and we modify another trigger. This trigger is close the socket like in your home. You want some machine automatically power on at midnight and power off at the morning, like this. Yes. Okay, so yeah, 40.
Because we have
Okay, so now this trigger is by the open socket.
Yeah, so it means you consider some a short time, and then some equipment will switch on or switch off automatically. So it's very convenient for your life.
And also you can modify some action like you enter your home, you open the door. So the light on, the TV on, the air condition on. Yeah, still
Yeah.
This is quite massive because what you can start doing is looking at, for example, let's say regards to
Okay, so when the motion sensor triggers, turn on the fan.
Oh yeah, location as well.
Okay, I already
Sensing
make
what's up and you can't
click
use the service.
this trigger is when the motion action, I record
Use this up about 10, right?
10 seconds.
yeah, and
So I think they'll start deploying
at
these things
more
in there.
action, just add that.
So what is this thing called?
Oh,
This is called the gateway.
Yeah, home gateway.
Home gateway.
Yeah, actually, it's just as a router. Can support the keyboard. This is Huawei gateway. We can also support the third-party gateway, but now we launch this solution, so maybe later we can integrate with the third-party gateway in such a way. Our own T.
Just now we break a file. So I think
So this
maybe
thing
1 minute
automatically can do the SIG-wave communication,
Yes.
but also can do Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
And this one only Wi-Fi.
Oh, this is just a router CPU.
This is connected to the internet.
Okay, now
Yeah.
do that.
okay.
Is this being used at the moment?
Wi-Fi is off.
Okay, now
This is just their product.
we have already finished the trick modify. So now I open this escape.
Make some movement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The light turn on. Yeah, the light turn on.
But the thing is,
The sword turn on. And the
don't do SIG-wave
recording
communication.
This router just provides access.
That is our
That's
work.
access.
That's Z-wave. This one.
Yeah. The main part is this one.
Z-wave. Yeah, so I mean that cut doesn't have Z-wave in. So you can still communicate with this thing. I just have a Wi-Fi to that thing, but not these sensors.
Yeah.
And this seems like this bell communicates with Z-wave.
So you guys don't have Huawei router with Wi-Fi and Z-Wave.
Is it this one?
You don't have a combined ESP. When are you gonna have one? Because
But
at the end of the day, you don't have like 15 different.
Yeah, we have no requirement from
You want this built in there? Yeah. Why this freaking complicated?
This should actually have Wi-Fi.
In fact, even your root engine, you put your root engine on the
Yeah, it must be one device.
Yeah, localize your own root engine on this and put Z-Wave in there.
Yeah.
And then
Actually, our IoT agents were very root engine in the gateway.
you have a separate gateway.
Yeah.
Is that so you have a Huawei gateway like that also? Is it
That is Huawei. Yeah, that is Huawei. Actually, we can directly use the Ethernet cable to provide the Wi-Fi to all the connections in the house.
It has Wi-Fi.
Yeah,
Oh.
Wi-Fi connects with NIP.
But it doesn't have GSM.
GSM is quite small throughput.
Yeah, kind of support.
LTE. It'd be nice if this and this was one device.
Or if you want to integrate into one device. I think that's the
So
future
that
way.
is the smarter CPE.
Yes.
That is the
What is smart CP? Correct.
IoT aggregator inside here.
Yes.
So if you want to integrate other Windows smart device.
But like if you put the plugins to the PCB first and then plug that in.
Of course, it's possible.
You know what I mean? Because like,
We install one thing.
like sometimes they don't come with those plugins, they just have to add.
The whole camera and
Just this
So
and
this
the
one.
LTE device.
And also for updates.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Install this.
We also want to have one.
So can you buy this in South Africa?
This one or this one? This one.
This one and these sensors and the camera. Is it for sale here or is it?
no, but you can go to Alibaba. AliExpress.
And what is the price of this one? compared to a router? I mean, is it lower cost?
Lower,
Much lower. So that's the benefit, I guess, is that you can still use your existing router, just add this.
exactly.
You don't have to go buy a brand new router from scratch.
That makes sense. Thank you very much, guys. Thanks for organizing all the.
I did communicate because
Thank you.
and take this on board. So far,
Thanks, guys. Bye bye.
Really.
Just find the address.